It's time. It's time for the Billy Flint Experience.
Thank you so much for joining us for another fabulous Billy Flint Experience. I am your host, Billy Flint. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It is a Sunday, a very nice, sunny Sunday here in Germany. Hope everyone is doing well wherever you are in the world. We're going to get into the main subject of the day or the night. This evening here. It's almost, what it is. It's after 9 o'clock p.m. But like I said, we're going to get into the subject of the night. It's very concerning. It's concerning to me. It should be concerning to a lot of people, actually, because this situation kind of affects all of us one way or another. But it just usually starts with most of the entertainment community, I should say. And the news usually follows behind what happens within the entertainment industry, and then it fans out to the public. And what I'm talking about is an artist goes by the name of Kodak Black, and he is, I don't know if everyone is familiar with him, but he is an African American rapper, hip hop artist, coming from Florida, Pompano, Florida. And he's 24 years old. Very popular hip hop artist in the United States, and has a lot of hit records. But it was I think it was Friday that he was sending out cryptic text, which I find very, very hard to understand. Because like I said, he's 24 years old, very young, very talented. Okay, well, that isn't an opinion, my opinion, and I know others may have a different opinion about his talent and his art, but being that he is an artist, he again Friday or mid part of last week, he was sending out cryptic texts about suicide, about him wanting to commit suicide. And it really hit me because, again, like I said, he's young. He's amongst his so-called peers. He's very popular. He has a lot of respect among his peers, his peer group, his age group, and also the people that support his music. And what it made me really understand is, like, why would such a young man have these feelings? I have his. As you can see, I'm really shaken up from this story. So, but he had a few of the texts posted on different social media sites, and I so happen to have one of them. And the first one is, it goes, I'm sitting in my room crying, feeling like killing myself. And of course, in another one he sent out some hours later, which says, so lonely, depressed, sad. And then explicative, F-U-C-K, up. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares. I'm everywhere at once. Friends playing with my mind, or friends playing with my head, girls playing with my heart. Wish I can go back to the start. I'll never be famous. And it wasn't so much as the first text that he sent out. It was more so the second one. He's saying, making it known that he doesn't feel as though he have anyone in his corner. And I know as far as the entertainment, the celebrity lifestyle is completely different from normal people. Because as a normal person, we can go out and we can enjoy our life and we don't have a lot of things to worry about as far as people that are close to us, that are in our circle because of our social standing or because of the fact that we have a lot of money. But for the normal people in the world, we're able to actually enjoy life a little bit more. It almost kind of begs the question, like, and as I posted a few podcasts previous, and I was talking about the entertainment industry and how wicked and evil it is. And I'm not just saying that. There's been plenty of other entertainers that said the same thing, whether they were actors or whether they were in the music business, but they all kind of lament around the same sentiments as far as the entertainment industry is concerning. And again, as I was kind of wanting to do a little bit more research, because like I said, that when I read the tweets, I wanted to do a little bit more research, and what I found out is that, of course, Kodak Black, his real name, his birth name is actually Dusun Octave. And then, of course, he goes by as, I guess, his another alias. And he goes by Bill Capri. So I don't know where the Kodak Black comes from, unless that's his stage name. It might be cryptic. Who knows? I don't know. It might have other meanings behind it, but that is his stage name. So as I was doing a lot of research, and I find it very interesting that prior to his situations with the drama with his past criminal record, his criminal activity, and I don't know, I don't think it's important to talk about that, because he had made a complete turnaround once he was in prison. He was sent to prison for violating the probation, the gun probation. And he ended up going back to prison. Or he ended up going to prison because the second time his lawyers actually kept him out of prison. He was on probation. And the second time, when he was in court, and it was actually the White House staff was actually applauding him and his giving back to the community in which he has come from, which is in Pompano, Florida. And they were applauding him at giving back to his community as being, a pillar of his community. He was making a turnaround. He was making a change in his life. And the White House staff noticed this, and they helped in getting him a parole, or not parole, but probation. Allowing him to have probation over prison time, because he was going to prison. So throughout his career, I don't know, it just seems kind of, because, okay, I guess I will bring it up. Okay, so the first run-in with the first major run-in goes back to 2016, I would say, where he was brought up on charges of rape. Of course, it didn't stick. They settled out of court, and he went on about his way. Then the second was the actual, the lying or the falsifying information on him wanting to purchase guns, multiple guns. So what happened was, that's when the White House staff said, okay, well, he's young, they make mistakes. So, make a long story short, boom, he got on probation. Now, the third time, that's when he violated his probation, and they were sending him back to prison. He went to prison. He was supposed to be in prison, and that was in 2019. And he was supposed to be in prison for 4 years for a parole violation, which Donald Trump came through. The last day in office was Donald Trump. Donald Trump had his hand in getting his sentence, or his sentence in prison commuted. And he was released. He was released in 2020. Right? Just as President Trump was leaving office. So President Trump had a hand in him being released from prison. Okay, fast forward. All of 2020, he was in the public eye. He was doing a lot of things within his community, giving back to his community, helping out his community, and trying to make a change of his life, which it was clear that he was making a change in his life. And I guess through all of that was taking place, and then plus to the fact that during the whole year of 2020, it was a pandemic lockdown. So that in itself plays into possible mental illness. Because anyone that will actually post, and it could be an outcry for help, could be an outcry for attention, but then again, it could be very serious. And that's one of the things that I myself took serious in what I was reading, because I know for a fact that all of 2020, a lot of people was suffering through mental illness, mainly because of the lockdown. I mean, it was just a report that came out the other day. Real quick. It reads, over 50 million people suffer from major depression disorder in 2020 due to COVID-19. COVID-19 pandemic. And it says a new global study estimates the coronavirus pandemic added to the burden of depressive and anxiety disorders in over 200 countries last year. A new study shows saying the impact of COVID-19 has increased the numbers of depressed people by nearly a third. And it goes on to say, while mental disorders were leading causes of the global health-related burden, even before the pandemic, the spread of the dreaded virus and subsequent restrictive measures to fight the disease have considerably added to the load. And it says in an extra 53.2 million cases, an increase of 27.6% of major depressive disorders, and 76.2 million cases of anxiety disorders have added to the number of people suffering from mental illness, according to researchers. And it's almost like, okay, if we go back to, 2001 with the World Trade Center. And it's, if you put it side by side, it's the same type of anxiety. Massive anxiety amongst everybody. Now it's worldwide. But if you go back to 2001, right when the 9/11 took place, and they put together all these measures and these restrictions, travel restrictions, constant raising of they had like a color bar system based on the terror level, and they were constantly raising it and dropping. It'll go up to orange, and it'll go back down to yellow, and it'll go shoot all the way up to red, and it'll come back down to, green or something. But it was constantly moving. And that was taking place for the last 10 years. So it's almost parallel, this pandemic and the effects that it's taking on people psychologically. It's parallel to what happened in 2001. And again, I said before that more and more people are definitely going to experience a lot more when it comes to their mental health. Because it's just, if you look at what's going on in the world, it's right in front of us. Everyone has some type of anxiety, whether they're depressed, and again, that's what made me want to talk about Kodak Black, because he's a young man. I can remember when I was 24, there was nothing. Well, I wasn't in the entertainment industry either, making millions of dollars. But the point is, at the age of 24, there shouldn't be a worry in the world. Not one worry. Whether you got money or whether you don't. And for this young man to carry this burden of feeling as though he has no one in his corner, not family, not friends, not love interest, just that alone is a heavy burden to carry. It weighs on a person's mind. It can weigh on anybody's mind. But I look at this and I say, I hope that Kodak Black gets the help that he needs. Because one thing that we have been experiencing as a society is a lot of young adults are dying, either from drug overdose or suicide. And it's always the younger, talented. So, as I said, I wish and hope that Kodak Black seeks the medical care that he needs and get himself some help. I'm pulling for him. I'm not really into his music, but as an artist, I can respect what he does as an artist, and I know that artists tend to have a different perspective on life, and they tend to carry a lot of the burden of the world, and it's often injected into their craft, whether it's music, acting, painting, writing. So again, with that said, I am pulling for Kodak Black, and I can only wish and hope that he gets the help that he needs. Again, thank you so much for joining me and listening to the Billy Flint Experience. Once again, I am Billy Flint. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Wish everyone have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful start of the new week. Look forward to being with you again. Please take care of yourself and be safe.